So this is your opportunity to ask Levi Roots some burning questions. I know I have some that I'd like to ask him. Got my little cue cards. So make sure you're thinking of some questions to ask. I will be coming around with the mic, so I might just spring it on you. So you might as well just think of some questions because I will ask you. Okay, so my first question then for you. We all know that your brand started out with your reggae sauce, but since then you've grown your product portfolio, and you have loads of different projects going on, ranging from music to business to obviously, you know, the sauce, food and everything. So what is your favorite product, or what is your, you know, most exciting project at the moment?
A project.
So project.
Product. Well, obviously the original sauce is the most exciting one, even though we've moved on. We have over 50 different products on the brand now. I mean, ranging from a range of sauces, range of soft drinks, ready meals, crisps, peanuts, cooking sauces, patties, pasties, the whole range, you know. But I do think that the original sauce, because of the connection to do with my beloved grandma, and her name is Miriam, by the way. I think that's my favorite product on the brand. My favorite project that I worked on at the moment is I worked very closely with the Prince's Trust, and that one gives me a lot of pleasure because the kids that benefits from the Prince's Trust resonates with how I was back then as a kid. Someone who felt I could do something. I really felt that I could do anything that I wanted to, but you just don't have the trust from somebody to do the switch, you know, to help you to switch from doing the bad to the good. And I think the Prince's Trust is perfect. And it's just for kids or young people that's been in trouble or problems in their life that we help. And I have my own program on the Prince's Trust that we pay for, and it's a cookery program for young people. And what I do now, we actually we have taken people from the cookery class to the Prince's Trust to work at my restaurant in Stratford. So.
Love it. So I read somewhere that you struggled to get investment before Dragon's Den because your product was deemed too black. So what advice would you give to budding entrepreneurs that have maybe been told that you know, their business idea is rubbish, or, you know, they can't make it? What advice would you give?
Well, I would give to fix up yourself, because the reasons why I think, you know, and it's true, you know, fix up yourself. I would have given myself, you know, the same advice, because to be fair, I don't think I was really ready when I was getting those refusals from the banks and things like that. To be fair, I think I only got ready when I went out into the field. I decided to go to anywhere there was a shire at the end of the name to promote the sauce. You know, because I used to promote sauces in Brixton and in Hackney, where, you know, black people already know about sauces, and it was just a failure. It just didn't work. And it was when I decided to change up the whole thing, is where I networked, where I marketed. So when I did go to my first mentor for my first investment of £1,000, I showed her that there was a market for Caribbean food, but it wasn't in your Hackneys and in your Brixton. It was in the Shires. And that's why I got my first investment.
Lovely, thank you. I've got a couple more questions, so guys, make sure you're ready with your ones. So you successfully managed to build up the Levi Roots brand to the point where it's pretty much a household name. So what advice would you give, again, for maybe budding entrepreneurs or just young professionals in general who want to build a personal brand or build a brand for their business? So like some concrete, you know,
well, my first advice, I've been asked this a lot, and I never changed from that. There's three, I'm going to add three, but the first one that was about the business plan, because that's a problem that I had in the outset. I never did a really good business plan because I don't want to wait around for that 5 years that the business plan tells you got to wait for. You know, I was always one that I was so used to the hustling attitude of my life before, on the street, and you want everything now, and you didn't want to wait around for that business, because the old business plan tells you that you got to wait at least 5 years a proper business plan lasts for. So that's the first thing, is to just really have a good business plan where you write everything down and you can actually see how the business pans out from start, middle, and to end. And the second part of it is to have that long-term goal yourself of how to sort of focus long-term, which is another skill that I find especially young people find very hard to do, is to have that focus, especially when your friends and the TV and fashion and everything else is telling you to go the other way, is to have that eye of the tiger to focus on the end of it. And the third one is about, I spoke about that yourself, is about, I said, fixing up your own self so that you are ready for the plan. You know, so that you speak in the right way. You change your websites from, you know, rude boy, I'm so cool, and all these things. You're going for investment, and you take and you set yourself up in the right way, dress in the right way, looking cool and ready for business. So it's that fixing up your own self, having a long-term sort of fashioning yourself how to take it through, and to have that business plan.
Lovely. You guys got that? Cool. So I know you started out selling your sauce at the carnival, at Notting Hill Carnival. So I'd imagine that event is quite close to your heart.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think that the event has changed over the years? And what are your thoughts about the prospects of people having to pay to attend to go to carnival?
Yeah, I think you know, you are right about it's very close to at the carnival, because that's where I started, and I'm very passionate about the Notting Hill Carnival. I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't that little spot that I had in Westbourne Park Road all those years, and giving it the name of the restaurant, and for us that was the starting of everything. I do think it's atrocious if they ask people to come and pay to Notting Hill Carnival. I remember, you know, about 6-7 years ago they tried it when I was at my stall there. They talked about having it in Hyde Park. And, you know, everyone was just absolutely against that, because carnival is about moving around and following the crowd and having a chance to experience all the food and all the music in that circular movement. And if you put it in a park or put it in one place or ask people to pay, then you don't have that touching of everybody that allows that movement of carnival. So I certainly will be voting against, you know, any kind of putting carnival in parks or charging people to come. I think it'll be a disaster, absolutely.
I agree, to be honest, I agree. I've been going carnival for my few years that I've been going, and yeah, I think it would be weird, no?
Yeah, it's for the people, I think.
So I guess my last question then is, what's next? What can we expect from the Levi Roots brand? You just, you know, recently bought your, you know, restaurant. What's next in the world dominant? Oh, sorry, restaurant. So what's next? You mentioned world domination. How are you going to go about that?
Well, I think the concept of the food thing now with the restaurant, I think that's where my sort of focus lies now. I think it's brilliant that Caribbean food has now got to that level where there are massive investments are now going into restaurants opening all over the place. I mean, there's a chain now that's attracting millions and millions of pounds involved in it, which is brilliant. You know, we have a problem here as Caribbean people that, you know, we build this sort of takeaway empire, which none of us really liked, and that's the reasons why the cuisine are taking so long, because you need restaurants, a bit like how Indian food and all the other cuisine has done it, to be able to be top of the sort of high street. You got to be able to go out and dine and bring the family and to eat and have an experience. So it's not about takeaways anymore. And I'm just so glad that now that, you know, the ball game is changed and Caribbean food is now on everybody's lips, literally. So for me, you know, playing a part in that, you know, I feel so proud to be able to go out now and bring my family and sit in a proper restaurant and have a proper meal. So we're on the move now, absolutely.
Definitely. Okay, guys, so it's over to you. We have time for a few questions, so just raise your hands, I'll come and grab you. So I'm going to the back of the room first.
Thank you very much.